Back at his desk in the Gators Man Cave. Sports with Blake.
Hey everyone, so I just got done watching the Georgia Bulldogs spring game, and if one thing's for certain, the Georgia Bulldogs will be just fine at the tight end position. As a Florida Gator fan, I see our team struggle to have healthy tight ends on the roster, and I'm seeing 4 tight ends that could easily start for the Florida Gators on offense. It's just crazy because these are freakishly athletic tight ends that the Georgia Bulldogs have. Eric Gilbert, the transfer from LSU, put on a show. He caught 2 touchdown passes. Brock Bowers, who didn't even play in the spring game, he's a stud. Everybody knows that. Darnell Washington, is another big guy for the Georgia Bulldogs. And then Delk, he's another guy who I've never seen before, but that dude looks pretty good. And, just 4 tight ends that they're going to have. So that's one thing for certain for the Georgia Bulldogs. You're going to be very fine at the tight end position. And I don't know if they're going to run 14 personnel, which they'll just have all tight ends. Don't even worry about wide receivers. Now, Georgia at the wide receiver position had some pretty good wide receivers, some speedsters that they had. But tight ends are ultimately going to get a lot of targets this year for the Georgia Bulldogs. Now, on the defensive side, you could tell the Georgia Bulldogs are not going to be as dominant like they were last year, losing so much leadership and talent. There's going to be like 4 or 5, I don't even know how many in the first round in the upcoming NFL draft that the Georgia Bulldogs are going to have. But, you could tell that the defense is still going to be good. It's just not going to be as great as what it was. Kylie Ringo is back. He actually made a really good play. I saw him play a little bit, had a one-on-one with McConkey, broke it up. I thought, he still looks good. Come back, I think he's a true sophomore, so, they'll have him for a couple years. But, Georgia on offense, they're going to take a step up. I think the defense is going to take a step back, which I don't think that's a shock. And when you take a step back from a historically great defense like they had last year, I don't think it's that big of a deal. But on offense, Georgia is just going to be stacked at tight end, and the running back position is going to be fine. But it's just going to be crazy to see these huge tight ends that they have, 6'8", 6'5". You got Brock Bowers, who's huge, physical. But at the quarterback position, I actually see why JT Daniels left for West Virginia and transferred because Bennett looked okay. I think he threw a couple of picks, but man, Carson Beck looked pretty good for the Georgia Bulldogs. I think he locked up the number 2 spot at the quarterback position. I was looking at Vandergrift because he's a former 5-star recruit, and I thought he would, maybe take that next step, but no, Beck did. Carson Beck put on a show, a couple of pretty deep balls, especially in the first half. He was really locked in. And, I'm wondering if it's going to be like Bennett and Daniels was all last year. Who is it going to start? Now is it going to be Bennett and Beck? If Bennett starts to struggle or, if something happens, is it going to be Beck time? But, when that first game starts for the Georgia Bulldogs, it's going to be Bennett starting for Georgia. Because, he just won a national championship for the Georgia Bulldogs. I just can't see Georgia benching him after he just won a national championship for Georgia after 40 years. I just can't see Georgia doing that to him. But, unless he screws up during the season or in the fall, if something happens, that's the only way. But Carson Beck is going to be the number 2 quarterback for Georgia. And I believe Kirby Smart even said after the spring game that everyone knows Bennett's going to be the starting quarterback for the Bulldogs. But, Georgia's going to be really good this year, of course. I think their preseason rank is number 3. I think it's Alabama, Ohio State, then Georgia. But it's going to be fun to watch, and those tight ends are going to be a matchup nightmare for defenses in the SEC. But, hey, I appreciate y'all watching my channel. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well. I appreciate it. Y'all have a great one.